The KV-1, named after Soviet Defense Commissar Kliment Voroshilov, was one of the most formidable heavy tanks deployed by the Soviet Union during World War II. This tank played a crucial role in the early years of the war, particularly during the German invasion of the Soviet Union. Renowned for its heavy armor and significant firepower, the KV-1 exemplified Soviet tank design philosophy and battlefield strategy during the conflict. The development of the KV-1 began in the late 1930s as the Soviet Union sought to modernize its armored forces. In response to the growing threats from Germany and Japan, Soviet military planners recognized the need for a new heavy tank capable of withstanding the most advanced anti-tank weapons of the time. The KV-1's predecessor, the SMK and T-100 prototypes, were ultimately deemed too complex and unwieldy. Thus, the design team led by engineers from the Kirov factory in Leningrad, including prominent designers like Joseph Kotin, began work on a more simplified yet effective model. The KV-1 emerged as a robust solution, featuring thick armor that could resist most contemporary anti-tank weapons, a potent 76.2 mm gun, and sufficient mobility for its size. By 1939, the prototype was completed, and the tank was put through rigorous testing. It quickly demonstrated its superiority over existing models, leading to its adoption by the Red Army. The KV-1 was a heavy tank, weighing approximately 45 tons. Its design emphasized survivability and firepower. Key specifications include armor. The KV-1's armor was its most distinguishing feature, with frontal armor up to 90 mm thick and side and rear armor ranging from 75 to 90 mm. This made it nearly impervious to the standard anti-tank guns of the early 1940s. Armament. The main armament was the 76.2 mm F-32 or later the more advanced F-34 gun, capable of engaging both armored and soft targets effectively. Secondary armament included several DT machine guns for anti-infantry defense. Engine and mobility. Powered by a V2 KV-12 diesel engine producing around 600 horsepower, the KV-1 had a maximum speed of 34 km per hour on roads and about 16 km per hour off-road. Its range was approximately 250 km. Crew. The tank was operated by a crew of 5, the commander, gunner, loader, driver, and a hull machine gunner. Operational history. Early engagements. The KV-1 first saw combat during the Winter War between the Soviet Union and Finland, 1939 to 1940. Despite some mechanical issues due to the harsh winter conditions, the tank's heavy armor and firepower proved effective against Finnish defenses. However, its true test came during Operation Barbarossa, the German invasion of the Soviet Union in June 1941. In the initial phases of Operation Barbarossa, the KV-1 caused considerable consternation among German forces. Its thick armor was impervious to most German anti-tank weapons, including the standard 37 mm PaK-36 anti-tank gun and the 50 mm PaK-38. Even the famous 88 mm flak guns, which were adapted for anti-tank roles, found it challenging to penetrate the KV-1's armor at long ranges. The KV-1's ability to withstand direct hits while continuing to fight was exemplified in numerous engagements. Notably, during the Battle of WWII in June 1941, a single KV-1 tank held up an entire German division for several hours. Despite repeated attacks, including the use of artillery in anti-aircraft guns, the tank remained largely unscathed until it was finally disabled. Despite its formidable presence on the battlefield, the KV-1 was not without its flaws. Its heavy armor made it slower and less maneuverable compared to other tanks. The tank's mechanical reliability was also a significant issue, with frequent breakdowns due to its complex transmission and heavy weight. Additionally, the KV-1 was difficult to produce in large numbers due to its size and the complexity of its design. In response to these challenges, several modifications were made to improve the KV-1. The KV-1E Economy, for example, featured additional armor plating, while the KV-1S Skorostnoy was a lighter and faster variant with reduced armor thickness but improved mobility. These modifications aimed to address the tank's vulnerabilities while maintaining its battlefield effectiveness. As the war progressed, the Red Army continued to utilize the KV-1 in various capacities. However, the rapid advancements in German anti-tank weaponry, including the introduction of more powerful tanks like the Panzer IV and the Tiger I, gradually diminished the KV-1's battlefield dominance. By 1943, the KV-1 was increasingly supplemented and eventually replaced by the more advanced KV-85 and Joseph Stalin series of tanks, which offered better firepower and mobility. Despite this, the KV-1 remained in service in various roles, including as command tanks and for training purposes. Some KV-1s were also converted into engineering vehicles, such as armored recovery vehicles and mine-clearing tanks, showcasing the versatility of the basic design. The KV-1 had a significant impact on tank warfare during World War II. Its initial success against German forces underscored the importance of heavy armor and powerful armament in tank design. The KV-1's presence on the battlefield forced the Germans to develop new tactics and weapons to counter heavily armored Soviet tanks, leading to the evolution of their own tank designs and anti-tank doctrines. Furthermore, the KV-1 influenced Soviet tank development, paving the way for the later IS series of heavy tanks, which would continue to play a crucial role in the final years of the war and in post-war Soviet armored forces. The lessons learned from the KV-1's strengths and weaknesses were integral in refining Soviet tank design philosophy, emphasizing a balance between armor, firepower, and mobility. The KV-1 holds a prominent place in Soviet and Russian military history. Several KV-1 tanks have been preserved in museums and as monuments across Russia and former Soviet territories. These memorials serve as a testament to the tank's role in the defense of the Soviet Union during the darkest days of World War II. Historians and military analysts often cite the KV-1 as a key example of effective tank design and deployment during the early stages of World War II. Its ability to withstand the best efforts of German anti-tank units highlighted the importance of armor protection in tank warfare. Moreover, the KV-1's operational history provides valuable insights into the challenges and solutions associated with heavy tank development. In retrospect, the KV-1's influence extended beyond its immediate battlefield performance. It demonstrated the potential of heavy tanks to change the course of battles and, by extension, the war itself. The experiences gained from operating and maintaining the KV-1 informed subsequent Soviet tank designs, contributing to the development of some of the most iconic tanks in history, such as the T-34 and the IS series. When compared to other contemporary tanks, the KV-1 stands out for its combination of heavy armor and significant firepower. While German tanks like the Panzer III and early models of the Panzer IV were more maneuverable and mechanically reliable, they were initially outclassed by the KV-1's defensive capabilities. The German response, including the development of the Tiger and Panther tanks, can be seen as a direct reaction to the threat posed by the KV-1 and other Soviet heavy tanks. In the broader context of World War II tank development, the KV-1 exemplifies the trend towards increasingly heavier and more powerful tanks. This arms race in tank design was a hallmark of the conflict, as each side sought to gain a technological edge over the other. The KV-1's role in this dynamic underscores its historical importance and enduring legacy in military history. The KV-1 tank was a formidable weapon in the Soviet arsenal during World War II. Its heavy armor, powerful gun, and battlefield resilience made it a significant threat to German forces during the early years of the war. Despite its shortcomings, such as mechanical reliability issues and limited mobility, the KV-1's impact on tank warfare and its role in the defense of the Soviet Union cannot be overstated. As both a symbol of Soviet engineering prowess and a practical tool of war, the KV-1 played a crucial role in shaping the course of World War II. Its legacy lives on in the annals of military history, serving as a reminder of the technological and tactical innovations that characterized the armored warfare of the mid-20th century.